Hey everyone, it's Darth Forge from Nerdy Geek Talk, the source for all your nerdy geeky needs. Welcome to episode 7 of Awesome Asylum. I'm here with my co-host, NightWolf, and with our guest host, Erimus Prime.
Hey guys.
That was a much better intro than last time.
I almost forgot your name there for a second.
Link in
NightWolf.
Link in the description to the tweet of Awesome Asylum with
Darth Forge's first intro.
Well, technically, this is my first actual intro because that wasn't an intro. You guys didn't actually use that.
Yep. That was a fake intro. Fake news. Alright, Darth Forge is hosting this episode because he's better than I am.
So take it away, Forge.
Alright, and so I'm going to start this off with some bummer news. I know, I'm sorry, but Stan Lee's wife, Joanne, died at the age of 30. I'm not 30.
Holy crap!
At the age of 93. I'm sorry.
93 is much better than 30.
But yeah, it is a tragedy. I think I saw somewhere that they were together for like over 70 years or something.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a long time, and it's really sad. But at least we know Stan Lee will never die.
Don't say that.
Let's not say that.
Thoughts go out to Stan Lee and the whole family, too, though.
Yeah. Alright. So, yeah, that's a bummer. But,
non-bummer.
Sorry. But anyways, there's some Legends news coming out with Thor.
Yeah, Marvel Legends.
Yeah. So let's look at those.
All right. So which do you want to talk about first? The individuals? Or do you want to talk about the 2-pack?
Let's talk about the individuals first.
Okay. Thor. Okay, so let's just lay them out. Which ones are the individuals first? Thor, Loki, and Hela are the individual carded figures, with the Build-A-Figure being Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all from the movie, specifically Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to start out with Thor?
Yeah. Thor has the nice helmet and 2 swords and the war paint across his face,
which is awesome.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
His armor looks
really buff
awesome.
too.
Yeah.
I feel like his shoulders are kind of a bit wide for Chris Evans, though. Not Chris Evans.
Hemsworth.
Crap.
Yeah.
Hemsworth. Yeah.
I agree, but I don't mind the look. Like, I think it looks good.
Yeah.
But
it looks good.
I don't disagree.
It's just I think his shoulders should be a little bit tighter in.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit. You know what I mean?
They are a little wide. Yeah. I see what you mean. But yeah, he does look like he's a really good figure.
Mm-hmm. Looks really nice.
And then Loki does not have any weapons, which is kind of sad, but he does have a removable helmet, so you can put the helmet on or have it off.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see how the helmet attaches to his face, because you can't really see much. I don't know if it just
it. I don't think it pegs in.
Clamps.
I think it's I think it just. I think they made it a little smaller than the head, so that way it'll just keep pressed on.
It might be like a flexible material that can...
I'm pretty sure it is.
Like a cheap ring kind of thing. Like that sort of thing. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, it kind of makes sense that he doesn't have weapons because he's the god of mischief. He uses...
But he used the knives in the trailer.
I know, but I'm just saying it makes sense in your head.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing that he doesn't have weapons.
Yeah, he is the best one to not have weapons out of the 3 that we're getting.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of the 3, the last one is Hela, and man, she looks hella good.
Alright.
I made that joke before. Erimus Prime stole it.
Yeah, he did. Come on.
Meme stealer.
I've been saying that since they came out as a stupid joke, so you know.
That's what they all say.
She comes with a sword, which looks nice, but an alternate head. So she has her deer head with all her horns, and then her head whenever she's like in the all torn up outfit with just her face, like she doesn't have the helmet or mask on. And
You know
I
what
gotta
they say?
what?
She's a very horny girl.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I
just had to do that.
wouldn't really want to use the head without the horns because the
It
head
looks
with
a
horns
lot like the
Yeah.
looks
actress.
so good. I mean,
It
it is
does.
a
The
it's
resemblance
a really
looks good.
well done head. The alternate one with the face, but it's just I don't see any. I mean, obviously we haven't seen the movie, but I don't really see any need for to use that one. I'm glad they included it, and that's very cool because I'm sure some people will, but the
I'm torn.
horn
For me, it
is so
depends
good.
on which she has more in the movie.
Honestly, I think I like the horns better. Just before I see the movie, I think it looks better.
I think so too, but I'm surprised by how well the regular head sculpt is because
Oh, it's great.
Marvel Legends are typically just okay at getting the actor's likeness. They're not usually great. This one's pretty great.
Yeah, every once in a while they will put out a head sculpt that I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. But most of the time, you are correct. They do pretty average head sculpts, but this looks great. It looks so much like the actress.
Yeah. So out of these three, and then the Build-A-Figure is Hulk, who has both two weapons, two hammers, I think.
Yeah, a hammer and an axe.
Oh, okay, hammer and an axe, and a removable helmet. He looks good.
Oh yeah.
He looks so good. I love the helmet too, the way. Because I think he'll look good with it on or off, and it just he does look good with it on or off, and it's so cool, and his weapons are so nice too. It all all his armor and stuff, and the war paint on him, it's just so well done.
I know.
And his sand.
Is there war paint?
Yeah. Which is your favorite out of the individual releases?
Hulk.
Hulk doesn't count because he's a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, he's a Build-A-Figure. I'd say Thor, to be honest.
Eric? What about you? Okay, I think Thor is also my favorite, but Hela is a close second. Really close. I really want to put her as first, but Thor, I just love the design so much that I think he wins for me.
Hela wins for me. I just love the horns they did. I just love it. Fits perfectly with the rest of the costume, and it looks so good. And then we also have the 2-pack. Tupac.
Yeah, which has Thor, but in a different outfit. He doesn't have the helmet or the face paint, and his armor is a little bit different. I did look at that. He's not wearing exactly the same armor.
Yeah.
Do you think the head sculpts are interchangeable?
Probably, yeah.
They have to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
He also has a set of alternate hands and a lightning attachment for, I think, only one hand.
And a big sword. No, the lightning. He only has one lightning attachment, but he has two hands to wield the lightning attachment, so you can put it on either hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of disappointed though with the Thor figures because in the trailer in the arena scene, you see him with almost like a mace.
I know. I thought that too.
You don't see that. In these, and I thought that's kind of
in the movie. It's probably going to be a dismissible thing. He's probably not going to have it for more than just that quick fight scene. But it still would have been so cool to have that.
Yeah, true.
I know. I thought the transition from hammer to mace is an interesting one, but I think it's cool. You know.
Mm-hmm. The other character in this 2-pack is Valkyrie, who's making her MCU debut, and she looks pretty nice. She has a sword, and I think the other thing in her other hand is a sheath.
Yeah, I think
I'm pretty sure it's a sheath for the sword. She looks good. Out of the two-pack, Thor is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
But I really like the lightning for that one.
Marvel did their Marvel thing and made her costume all just gray and silver, which I know that's
don't
like
mind her, though.
her costume, but it's just It's nothing amazing for me.
I'm kind of excited for Valkyrie in this movie, though. I think she's gonna be good.
I'm excited for her in the movie, but like, she has to like be cool in the movie for me to like care about the figure, basically, because the figure doesn't look amazing on its own.
Do you guys share my opinion on Thor being my favorite out of those two from the 2-pack? Or do you like Valkyrie better?
Before seeing the movie, yes.
Before seeing the movie, yes.
That's fair. Which Thor figures do you prefer? The helmet with the war paint and the 2 swords, or the without the helmet and different armor and no war paint and the electric hand and the big sword?
That's really tough because
the one with the war paint and the helmet.
See, I really like that one, but I also like alternate hands, the big sword and the lightning. So I'm gonna have to go with the 2-pack one, I think. But
it's really hard for me to pick, but I'm going to go with the war paint and the swords and the helmet.
Yeah,
the individual card. I really like the lightning and the hands, though, so, you know, there's
stuff.
Yeah. So I think that's about it for the Thor Marvel Legends.
I don't think we mentioned this earlier, but Hulk's helmet can come off.
I did.
Yeah,
I said removable helmet.
I just wanted to say that because I didn't remember.
You terrible host.
I'm sorry.
More like you terrible guest. Wrecked. Alright, what do we have next? Darth Forge.
So I think this is kind of a good transition because this is kind of talking about Hulk still. In the comics, we're returning to Planet Hulk, which, in my personal opinion, it's the whole Civil War II thing. They're trying to do that because of the movie.
Yeah, you shouldn't revisit something that was really well done, and then, you shouldn't make not this is a sequel, but you shouldn't redo something that was already done extremely well and doesn't need redone.
Mm-hmm.
Is my opinion on it. So it's just, I don't think there's a point in going back because I don't think you really need to further that story, and it was really well done. So just leave it alone.
To be fair, I think Planet Hulk could be cool if they did it right and they did it different enough, but it's still, I agree, they shouldn't be doing it. I think they could maybe do it okay. I don't think it's going to be as bad as Civil War II was, at least in my opinion.
Me neither.
But
I don't think so.
I still think it's definitely unnecessary, but I don't think they're going to totally bomb it. I don't think it's going to be terrible. I think it's more just going to be an kind of thing.
Well, I'm not saying that I think it's going to be bad. I'm just saying it's completely unnecessary.
You know, it's completely unnecessary how many big events Marvel Comics constantly does.
That's true.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, recently they had an announcement. They were like, guys, we're not doing any more big things for a while after Secret Empire, but apparently that's garbage because
Marvel Legacy came out.
Garbage, yeah. Because Marvel, I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why they would say that because
DC's success.
DC is doing some quality stuff in terms of comics right now.
They're just trying to copy DC right now.
Yeah, in terms of sales, DC has been rivaling Marvel. The only reason Marvel has been still doing really well is because they ship extra issues to comic book stores sometimes just to take up shelf space. They're basically just jerks in terms of comics. Just saying. Still love comics, but they're jerks.
Has either of you read any of the new Hulk?
I have not.
The new run? No, none of the new one.
All right, because I was going to ask if any of you were reading it and if it seemed natural that they're going to Planet Hulk.
Have you
I
been
mean,
reading
it's
it?
possible.
No, I haven't. I have not. Sorry.
Yeah.
From what I know of the comic, though, it doesn't seem like there was any plot details that have been leading up to that. But I don't know because I haven't read it for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much Marvel looked at what DC did and was like, hey, they're killing it with sales. Our sales are kind of going down a little bit. Let's do Marvel Legacy. So they're kind of copying what DC did, which transitions perfectly into this article that I found on comicbook.com of Stan Lee talking about when DC tried copying Marvel to get better sales.
So, what's it say?
Give us
So-
the details.
It's kind of humorous. This came out of like an interview or something like that, and Stan Lee talked about how they were trying to catch up and that they were doing the best they can. Bless their innocent little hearts, end quote. Which I thought was pretty funny. They were. He pretty much said that their lineup was miserable, and that Marvel Comics did their best to mess with DC whenever it came to publications. And he was talking about how DC would have massive staff meetings where higher ups would try to figure out the key to Marvel's success, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh, Marvel has a lot of red in their covers. Let's put red in our covers." And Stanley was like, "Oh, they did that. Let's take all the red out of our covers."
That's awesome.
Which I thought. And he's like, "Our books still sold better," and that would drive them crazy. And he talked about how DC tried to replicate Marvel's overuse of dialogue bubbles and stuff like that, and it was just funny, some of the things that he mentioned in here.
Definitely.
And then he did mention the sense of humor that Marvel has that DC seems to lack sometimes. He did mention that.
Well, just to clarify, we will have links to the articles we mentioned in the description, so make sure to check them out too. To get the full story.
It's funny how the tide has turned now.
I know. It's funny.
And like Marvel isn't doing like as dumb things as like DC. At least it sounds like DC did back then. Like they're not just like DC has this color, but like they're still they're copying DC now. In my eyes, DC
It's a little bit of a reversal.
DC Comics quality right now versus Marvel's is almost like Marvel's movies versus DC movies. Not quite as bad, just in terms of like how much I like them.
I would say that's.
I wouldn't say that much.
I would say
I
it's
wouldn't-
close to that, but not there.
Yeah, I wasn't saying exact. I was saying it's similar, because DC is doing way better.
Okay, I'd go with similar, but like I wouldn't say exactly that because I pretty much love everything coming out of the MCU, but I love most of what's coming out of DC. There's like one or two things I'm like, I'm kind of iffy on that, but like everything else, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Give me more of this.
Yeah, they're the only Marvel
Not a
series.
direct comparison.
The only Marvel comic lines that I ever like are the ones that are like separate from all the big events they do. Like I liked Hyperion, and that stayed away from any, like literally anything else that was going on in the Marvel Comics universe. I mean, Iron Man was in it for a little bit, but like it still wasn't connected to anything else. I really like Cable now, and that's really far away because he's friggin' time traveling, which is awesome.
I love
You like
Scarlet
Spider?
Spider and Darth Vader, which is Marvel Comics, but not
Mhm.
Marvel.
Yeah.
It's not within the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
It's still Marvel though, so it is fair to say that is
That
a comic
counts.
run that they're doing. They are killing the Darth Vader series. It is so well done.
Yeah, and also Marvel. they had some good events back in the day, like Spider-Verse. That was some quality stuff. But they're ruining it. They didn't ruin Spider-Verse, but like they drove it in the ground by like having a whole. I think they had like several. I don't remember exactly. They had at least one comic series, new comic line that was devoted to like the Spider-Verse, some of the Spider-Verse team. But then they also had like individual lines with like different parts of different parts of the team, and that's the problem with Marvel. They just do too many lines, and it's just they need to calm down.
I kind of felt like that too. Because did you ever read the original Spider-Man Noir that like kind of talked about Spider-Man Noir's origin?
I think I read some of that. I don't know if I did all. I don't know if I finished it. I read some of it.
I have it in case you ever want to borrow it.
Yeah.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. But then there was like a Spider-Verse cross tie-in with Spider-Man Noir, and it was like a little bit later in Spider-Man Noir's timeline, but it almost seemed not like the same Spider-Man. Like it was kind of
like even
retconned a little bit.
Even with the Spider-Verse like event, which I loved in the main series, they still did like at least like one or two other like team. Like I'm thinking how to word this. They still did like one or two other lines that followed the main events. And granted, it followed like different characters in the events, but it was still like it's the same thing going on, which kind of makes me want to get all of it and read all of it because I love the Spider-Verse so much. But on the other hand, I'm like, Marvel, stop taking all my money. But it's like the other ones aren't as good. Because if they were the same quality, I wouldn't care. Like, because it's like if it's all good quality stuff, then do as much as you want. But it's not. Like, it's not the same level of quality when you're pumping out 5 lines to go along with one storyline.
Especially whenever it's already over.
Oh yeah, I hate that. I just so
like
many things.
When Secret Wars happened, like there's still tie-ins going on after the entire arc was over.
I know, it's ridiculous. I
know it was really
so
dumb.
many things Marvel does that irks me, but like that's the main thing. Like when they have a big event, like every single line they have has to have a tie-in, or at least appear like it does in the cover. But it doesn't really have to have much to do with it anyway.
I also like Moon Knight and Spider-Man 2099, and you know what I realized? Both of those completely ignore outside events, especially Moon Knight.
I know, and like when they have series that ignore it's almost like it's like drama, and like there's the series that ignore all the drama that goes on, which is not really what's happening, but that's almost what it seems like. And I love like every single line that I read that doesn't not obsess, but doesn't get involved with like every event that Marvel does. Which is why they need to take a
it's almost like I like the way they're doing DC Rebirth, because only some of the books are heavily invested in what's going on in Rebirth. The other ones are kind of doing their own thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like short crossovers are really cool. Like small short team events or whatever. But like when Marvel just drags it out, like they didn't learn the lesson from the freaking Clone Saga.
That's not the same thing.
They still draw things out way too much. I know it's not.
The Clone Saga was a very specific disaster that happened.
But it was basically the issue was mainly drawing out.
That was the main issue.
Which they still do.
But it wasn't to the degree that they did it in the Clone Saga.
It's not, but they still.
But that's because they aren't having editorial shifts every 6 months.
Yeah.
That's true.
DC, props to them though. Also props to like every third-party comic for like existing. That's just it.
What do you guys think of the crossover thing going on with Green Arrow, where he's going across country and he's going to be crossing over with all these different things?
I need to catch up on the comic series I've been subscribed to because I haven't read Green Arrow in a while. I have, like, I've bought all the issues that are, like, I have every current issue. I just need to read them.
I don't think
that's
it's started yet. I think they started the first crossover, but like there's like a lineup of like 5 crossovers that they're gonna do.
I've been loving the
That's
Green Arrow
interesting.
series. It's really
Yeah. I haven't really. I've only read the first volume, so I'm kind of behind on that. I just saw it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but what's the new? What's the next thing we have on our show notes? Since we're getting very sidetracked.
We are getting very sidetracked.
This is the show with no format. We can get sidetracked if we want to. But yeah, what is the next thing?
So the next thing I have is a article by CBR.com. The 15 most screwed up relationships in comic books, and I thought we could go through them and talk about them, see how we feel about them.
This is Nightwolf and myself's first reaction to hearing it. We
heard
have not heard any of these. He told us that he had this list, but we have not heard any of them. So
I read through it before we started this. I read through it before we started this, so I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The number 15 is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Read. Does it have like descriptions for them?
It does.
Can you read, literally, like, summarize it at least?
It's talking about how him creating beings like Ultron, and when Janet tries to reason with him, he flies off the deep end and slaps her across the face.
That slap.
That's like the most famous slap
And
in
it's
comics.
also like it wasn't even intended to be a full-on slap. Like I think it was a NerdSync video that talked about it, but like the writer didn't intend for it to be, or the drawer, not the drawer, the artist.
Wow.
The artist didn't intend for it to look like he was just like full-on slapping her, and it was like not a misinterpretation because that's exactly what it looks like, but like that's not what he intended. And that's not what was in like the original like writing for it. But I mean, yeah, they still have like a messed up relationship for the other things. But like that slap is one of the most famously misunderstood things in comics.
It also mentions the Ultimates number 6. Did you ever read that issue?
I did not.
Alright, so in this one, they recreate that scene where he slaps her, only it happens a little bit differently and a lot more brutal. I actually did read this. And
I think I heard about it. I didn't.
Yeah, she actually fights back, but Hank definitely went over the deep end. There was a part where she shrinks down, and he takes bug spray and sprays her with the bug spray, like bug spray to kill bugs.
Jeez.
And then sets an army of ants after her after he sprays her, and has them all attack her while she's shrunk down.
Holy crap.
And she's hospitalized.
Yeah, well, Ant-Man did have in the comics a very bad history of like
abuse,
mental health
like,
and
yeah,
stuff.
like it wasn't like alter egos, but like he would get like, it was almost, I don't think he was actually bipolar, but like that's kind of what he seemed like sometimes.
There was also kind of stuff where they talked about how the PIM particles messed with people's brains and stuff over long exposures.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, the like mental illness aspect of it. I think that also affected him. Like, that's not an excuse or anything, obviously. Like, he was still a bad person. Not a bad person overall, but like bad person sometimes. All right.
He's a good person that does bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the next one? Power.
All right. Number 14 is Batman and Black Canary.
I feel like Batman can't have a healthy relationship.
Yeah, because he's not a healthy person.
Yep.
Just any relationship he has is normally pretty messed up.
Did you ever read All-Star Batman and Robin?
No,
but I heard
this is the one this is the one where "I'm the goddamn Batman" comes from. This is where that comes from, and I read it and I thought it was hilarious. But there was in the description of this that it talks about that, and it's not talking about the main continuity relationship. It's talking about this relationship in All-Star Batman and Robin, and how Black Canary shows up and proceeds to do the deed with her while people are burning all around them.
What?
Yeah, there's like people burning all around them while they start making out and crawling on each other.
They're burning?
Yeah, because like this, I remember this issue. It's been a while since I read it, so I might have to go back and look at it. But I mean, that's what it says here. But like, I remember they were fighting somebody right before this, and whenever they defeated the people they were fighting, she pretty much threw herself at him and started making out with him, and they started doing the deed, like as all the guys are all around them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It was
Let's
kind of
move
weird.
on, because that one's weird.
Yes, it is. Number 13 is kind of controversial, but Superman and Lois.
Why is that messed up?
I don't know. Let me read through this real quick.
Please tell me it's the one where she gets turned into a fat woman, and then he has to... Do you know what I'm talking about?
That was a Nerd Sync video. But
yeah.
He turns her, or I forget if he turns her fat or not, but she gets turned fat, and then like he makes like mean comments about her, like as Superman.
Yeah.
No, it does not talk about that. It talks about how in the comic, Superman girlfriend Lois Lane, in issue number 5, Superman tricks Lois into having superpowers, so that she won't be obsessed with discovering his secret identity. By the time issue number 23 rolls around, she is obsessed with getting more powers so she can prove something to Superman. And there are also other instances where they double back in black magic and time travel, and the whole thing becomes really screwed up.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when you have a relationship in comics like Superman and Lois Lane, where they're like such a famous couple, where they're together in like the majority of their comics, because like Superman is such a huge character, there's gonna be like weird stories that talk about like messed up relationships. Like overall, they don't really have that messed up of a relationship, but like you can always find instances when there's so much writing about like a relationship in comics over the years. Like there's bound to be something that happens. So overall, not really, but I mean, yeah, you can find instances of it. Number 13's garbage. Get this article out of here.
All right.
12.
So
right?
Number 12, I really, really agree with this. This makes a lot of sense. Gwen Stacy and Norman Osborn.
Yes! Yeah. That should be higher on the list.
Not much explanation needed.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any words you can
especially
use
the becoming pregnant part.
Yeah. Yes! So that's exactly why we should move on.
Yeah. All right. So number 11 is Batman and Talia al Ghul.
Again. Oh, well, that one especially too, because
is that how we got? Wait. Is that who? Did they have a kid? Or no?
Yes. Their son is Damian Wayne.
Okay, that's what I thought. So. At least something kind of good came out of that. Actually, most instances of Damian Wayne are extremely violent.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah. Again, any relationship with Batman, but yeah, especially that one too because of her ancestors. Just her family, not
especially the whole creating a clone of Damian to have as a real son, quotation marks.
I don't get why they were even a thing.
I mean, they were a thing a decent amount, but it was just...
No, I don't understand why they were, though. Like, I don't understand why they even hooked up.
Because he liked her.
I know, but why?
Because she's pretty.
Like, oh, your parents aren't alive. Oh, that merely makes me like you.
I mean, Ra's al Ghul. It's not Ra's al Ghul. Does anyone disagree? Does anyone say it Ra's al Ghul? Because it's Ra's al Ghul.
I'm pretty sure in the movie in one of the animated movies,
they switch it. It hasn't been one solid way.
It's been switched around every once in a while.
I saw a video again on NerdSync. NerdSync is a great channel. If you know this channel, if you're subscribed to this channel and you're not subscribed to NerdSync, go subscribe to NerdSync because they're awesome. But they made a video about the pronunciation of that, and it was basically it came from the translation of, I think it was Hebrew word, and basically the translation was Ra's al Ghul, or I think it was Ra's, the translation, but it also looked similar to a letter that was, or some word or letter that was pronounced Raish, so people also started saying Ra's al Ghul, but it's supposed to be Ra's al Ghul. But they've done both in the movies, or like movies and TV shows and anything, so basically both, you could say both pronunciations are correct.
Anyways,
moving on.
What's the next one?
Number 10, which this one's kind of could be iffy, but it's Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor.
What's messed up about their relationship?
He was being led on in the New 52, and because he was being led on, he in Wonder Woman issue number 167, Steve tries to force Wonder Woman to marry him by tying her lasso around her, even after she just begged him to be patient until she's done fighting crime.
Huh.
Which is kind of
I kind of remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
I think that they just made it clear that was kind of a crazy instance of him.
Yeah, overall, their relationship is pretty solid. Like, I'd say I'd rival that relationship with, like, Superman and Lois.
Most of the time. Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing to a slightly lesser degree. With her and Steve paralleling Superman and Lois, because they are together.
There's so many universes. In most universes, they are a couple, so of course there's going to be one or two universes where it's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So next.
So next is number 9, the Hulk and Betty Ross.
I feel like the Hulk is clearly just someone you shouldn't be in a relationship with.
Yeah, because it's two people.
Although, the stuff that they have under it isn't really of any consequence in my opinion. But have you ever read the Ultimates? I just asked this a little bit ago.
Nope.
So a lot of crazy stuff happened in the Ultimates aside from Giant Man and Wasp. But in the Ultimates, Betty Ross was not a nice woman. Like, she was not nice to Bruce at all. In fact, she kind of treated him like he didn't really exist and would actually go on dates and, like, kind of cuckold him by, like, telling Bruce about the dates and how well it went. And, like, she would go on dates with, like, really attractive guys and then brag about it to Bruce just to make him feel bad.
Wow.
Is that the explanation?
She was not a nice woman. No. The explanation they had, it talks about how the Hulk has brought harm to Betty on numerous occasions, and how she became the Hulk villain, the Red She-Hulk. And it mentions the fact that all the time she left Bruce and even married another man.
Yeah, I mean...
Which I don't think it's a crime to go marry another person, but
no,
you know what I mean?
Like, that doesn't make the relationship messed up. That just means it, like, ended. But, I mean, when you're in a relationship with the Hulk, he's the freaking Hulk. Like, you get, like, doesn't, like, I'm not saying abuse is okay, but, like, you can't date the Hulk. Like, he's the Hulk. You're gonna get hit. Don't, the message of this podcast is don't date the Hulk. That's, everyone at home, we just want you to not date the Hulk, okay?
It should be obvious.
Yeah.
But anyways, what's the next one?
The next one is number 8, Cyclops and Phoenix, which it goes on to talk about how he cheats on her with Emma Frost and gets caught, and how he that he tries to leave a clone of Jean that he left the real Jean for, and their newborn child in Uncanny X-Men number 201.
Yeah,
Which
Cyclops
is really
a jerk.
messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, Cyclops is a jerk.
Yes, he is. It's really messed
Moral
up.
of the story. So, yep. Phoenix isn't totally innocent all the time either, but yeah, the main thing is Cyclops is a jerk. Alright, what number are we on now?
Alright, next is 7, Mystique
Ooh.
and Azazel.
We're halfway through. I'm not very
Yeah.
familiar with that one.
This led to the conception of what's his face, the teleporter, Nightcrawler. I love Nightcrawler, by the way. So this is kind of like something that kind of has to happen in my mind because I love Nightcrawler.
Mm-hmm.
But she was married at the time, and she cheated on her husband with Azazel and got pregnant. And then Azazel left to go back to his dimension, left Mystique and her child, so that way she would have to raise it on her own.
That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, yep. She also cheated on her husband, which doesn't mean she deserves to be like left alone to raise a child.
Yeah,
but it's also like
still,
if you
it's kind of a
cheat on
messed
your
up situation.
Yeah, it's the whole thing's messed up. Jean Grey is a little bit at fault for that too. Also, Azazel obviously did the worst thing, but she's not.
Wait, why is Jean Grey at fault?
Not Jean Grey, Mystique. Why did I say Jean Grey?
I was gonna say, jeez.
It's all Jean Grey's fault. All her fault. But yeah.
Anyways, what's the next one?
The next one is number 6, Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde.
No, it's Jean Grey's fault.
Yeah, that one's Jean Grey's fault.
Yep.
Next. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde, where it talks about how they began a relationship in Legendary Star-Lord number 1. And Star-Lord ended up proposing in Guardians of the Galaxy and X-Men Black Vortex Omega number 1. And Peter Quill abandoned the Guardians to become the ruler of Spartax, and Kitty stayed on Earth, and he was so demanding that she left and took over his spot as the new Star-Lord, and after some back and forth they reunited, which is kind of weird.
I mean, I don't know.
It seems very convoluted.
I was gonna say, I don't think you should date someone that takes your job. Or someone that leaves to rule a planet.
I also don't think it should be, like, that high up on the list. Not that that isn't, like, kind of messed up, but, like, some of the other ones were more messed up than that.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Alright. So, the next one is number 5.
We're in the top 5, people.
I really agree with this. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
What?
You didn't know this?
No?
Yeah.
Okay, so number 1, they're brother and sister.
I know
but they had a relationship.
What?
But There were several times where their romantic relationship was teased, like the cover for Ultimates number 8. However, it wasn't until Ultimates 3 number 1 where it was confirmed. This is in the Ultimate universe, so it's kind of different, but like
It's still.
Yeah.
Were they siblings in this universe?
Yes.
Well,
No.
were they in Alabama or whatever state in the U.S. it's still legal?
No.
But
Are you
anyways.
sure that they were still 100% siblings in this universe?
Yeah.
What? Why would they put that in the comic?
All right, Erimus Prime impression. What? What? What?
It makes sense.
What? It doesn't make sense. What? What?
What's the explanation underneath this one?
All right, so I'm going to tell you this, and then I'm going to talk about something else that kind of spins off of this. But Scarlet Witch walks out in a revealing outfit, and Captain America tries to tell them that they are setting an example. At that moment, Quicksilver threatens to kill the Captain, and it is then that it's revealed that they hold a strange romantic relationship, and Cap doesn't handle it well. And it's Hawkeye who suggests that they should do something about it.
I wouldn't handle it well either.
First, let's talk about Captain America in the Ultimates.
Lay off my sister, dude. She's mine.
Like,
what?
Okay, so this one, at first I kind of felt like he was kind of a douche, but then the more I thought about it, it kind of made sense. But still, he's more of a rash character in the Ultimates. And when Giant Man hospitalized Janet, which happened in issue number 5, Captain America found, first of all, Hank went into a bar and pretty much got really, really drunk and miserable because of what he just did to his wife, which is kind of understandable because you just hospitalize your wife. You're kind of,
as he should.
You're an idiot. Yeah. Captain America, when he finds out that he did this, tracked him down to this bar, broke down the door, and began to beat him into a pulp to the point where he was put into the hospital.
I mean, I'm not saying that's right to do,
But he deserved it.
but that's
He
not,
deserves
yeah,
it, but
that's
That's not the Captain America thing to do.
Yeah,
I know.
the Captain America thing to do is just shun him. Just shun him.
No, it's to have a really long monologue about responsibility.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is number 4, Lady Shiva and David Kane.
I don't know this one.
Yeah. Apparently, David Kane is an assassin. He was the one who trained Batman, apparently.
Oh, cool.
He attempted to train children to be his successors, but nothing ever worked. And then it was decided that he needed his own child. But he wouldn't just woo any woman. He was going to get the perfect fighter so that he could raise the perfect child. This led him to a woman named Sandra. After meeting her and her sister, David murdered Sandra's sister and threatened to kill her unless she had his child.
I mean,
Once that occurred, David took the child and left, leaving Sandra to become the assassin known as Lady Shiva. It's an interesting twist of fate, then, that the child ended up becoming the new Batgirl.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do for your work, man.
I have not ever heard about this.
There's no explanation needed, but it's really funny that their daughter became the next Batgirl.
I
know, I like that they added that.
I love that. That makes it that totally redeems the relationship. There we go. That's not even a relationship.
It was.
I never even heard of that one before.
It was all business.
Rape.
It was all business.
That's not rape. Is not a relationship. Like
It's
all
a
these other
business.
These other relationships are screwed up, but that is not a relationship. He literally just raped her.
It was strictly business.
No! Stop it. What's the next one? Hopefully it's not more rapists.
Alright, no. This one actually had a relationship. This one's number 3, Black Panther and Storm.
Why is it so messed up?
They had their ups and downs, but nothing happened until Avengers vs. X-Men number 8. In it, Namor decides to wage war on Wakanda and destroy it. From then on, Black Panther cuts ties with the X-Men and even distances himself from his wife. After showing up to help out, he simply states that all X-Men are enemies of Wakanda and must leave the city. It was soon after that these two got a divorce. It was great while it lasted, I suppose.
I mean,
I like how they added that last word.
I feel like the relationship's not that messed up. It's just a bad event happened and that caused it to end. So I wouldn't say that this should be that high up.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't be that high up. This is
I still
blasphemy.
can't. That reminded me of like possibly the worst one on here, which is this is the second the worst one. The one where the guy murdered his sister and threatened to kill her unless she had a baby with him. That's the worst one, in my opinion.
It seems
Next
So far.
worst is Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy are the next worst. I think.
Well, I was gonna say the next worst behind that is Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and surprised. I'm still surprised that this is the first time you heard of this.
I did not know that.
You didn't?
like kind of heard about it. I didn't know the details of it.
I
Also,
really wish I didn't know that.
DC tends to have like more bad relationships, at least from what I know. But like Marvel has some like really messed up ones, if you know what I mean.
I kind of feel like their relationship in the comics is the reason why they killed off Quicksilver in the Avengers in the movies.
I think that was more of a X-Men thing. The fact that Quicksilver was in the X-Men movie.
I know, but I'm sure that had something to do with it.
Maybe. Alright, what number are we on? Is this number 2 or number 1? Or what number?
This is number 2.
Number 2. Number 2.
So this is Doctor Doom and Susan Storm. And this happens in Secret Wars when Doctor Doom has his Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Where he pretty much steals Reed Richards' life. He's married to Sue Storm and 2 children. They have two children. I can't speak right now. He turned Galactus into a plaything for his newfound kids. It's not until Reed gets a one-on-one fight with Doom that he can actually snap Sue out of this reality and remind her of her true life.
This one is probably second worst because he's not literally raping her, but he's mind controlling her.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's bad.
It's still rape. If you've seen Jessica Jones, they actually talked about that because.
Well, no. I know. With Jessica Jones, it definitely is too. But in all fairness, he warps reality, so he changed. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you though. It still is, but it's not quite as bad as the guy killing his sister and literally forcing the other one to have a child. That's wrong. That's so wrong. So is this one. This is definitely second worst now.
The number 1 is totally wrong.
What's number 1?
Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I just looked at it to see number 1. That's garbage.
Say it.
It's Green Arrow and Black Canary.
What?
Okay, the explanation is he cheated on her once with an ad popped up.
With Black Knight, Lightning's niece, and Green Arrow number 28.
And then also, he died once, and then he got resurrected, but it was actually a clone, but they got together anyway, because the clone was apparently more reasonable than the real one, and got married, but then she got attacked by him and murdered the clone. But it's also, like, I feel like when it's a clone, it's really just like a different relationship. Like it's just a different person.
That's like saying if Peter Parker had a relationship with Gwen Stacy, and then Ben Reilly had a relationship with Gwen Stacy. It's not the same person having a relationship with Gwen Stacy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And, like, just because the clone is more reasonable or, like, more likable than the real Oliver, like, the real Green Arrow, that doesn't mean anything. Like, you like a person because you like the person. If you meet someone that's better, you like them better. But that's garbage. Like, that shouldn't even be on the list.
Like, that scenario is a little messed up. No, I could see it on the list, but just lower down.
No, it should have been on
a lot
instead
lower.
of this.
It should have been, like, above 10. Should have been, like, 10 to 15. If it's anything.
I mean, number one, I guess they didn't want to put something obvious, but, like, Harley Quinn and Joker, obviously.
Were these all
this wasn't even on the
No, they
list.
weren't. Yeah, you're right.
No.
Why was that not on
It
the
says
list?
most screwed up relationships. Like, that should be in the top 5, because, like...
It should be 1. It should be number 1.
I mean, it's not... It's just an abusive relationship. It's, like, extremely messed up, but it's also, like, the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver and, like, the murdering her sister and then, like, raping her for a child, if you can qualify that as a relationship. Those are the only two I would put above Joker and Harley Quinn. But, like, the way they do it here, I guess, they could argue that it was the most because, like, they, like, in this article, they pick out, like, specific scenarios, which there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm not dissing the article, but the way they format it, they could do it.
Also, I'm going to send you the cover that hinted at Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver's relationship before it was official.
I don't think I want to see that.
No, it's nothing too graphic. I'm sure
characters.
They are. Plus, it's a cover for a comic book. They're not gonna show a lot, but it's kind of
weird.
like. It's kind of like. Do you see it?
See it. Yeah.
Are you seeing it? Wait, where are you seeing it at?
It's on the article.
Yeah, but that's not the whole cover.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that. The lower half of it is kind of more.
Oh wow.
More insinuating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What the crap?
Yep.
And that's episode 7 of Awesome Asylum.
Alright.
You know what's not awesome? Incest. Just putting that out there.
They belong in an asylum.
So we've learned that incest is not as good as comic books make it out to be.
I thought you were gonna say incest is not as good as you thought, and I was like, what?
No. Also, raping is bad.
Also, they're twins too.
Also, don't date the Hulk. I feel like that is the most
obvious thing.
Yeah, who doesn't have the common sense to not date the Hulk?
Oh, I'd like to point out, it wasn't just in the Ultimate Universe that the relationship happened. It was heavily hinted at in the main continuity, but it didn't actually happen until the Ultimates came out.
Yeah. I'm glad it never happened in main continuity.
But they heavily hinted at it, though.
It's still better than this.
Did you see the second picture I sent?
Don't worry,
I did.
Marvel did a soft reboot, so everything of that is still canon. Unlike DC, who does logical reboots, Marvel.
There was a lot of messed up stuff in the Ultimates. I think is what we learned from this.
Yes,
yeah,
that is true.
Which is funny because the Ultimate Universe, I think, is my favorite because of Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Fantastic Four. I loved those series.
Ultimate Spider-Man as in Peter Parker or Miles Morales or both?
Both.
Ultimate Reed Richards is really cool.
Just the entire universe with the exception of the Ultimates. The Ultimates are messed up for whatever reason.
Yep.
I really like Ultimate Universe Reed Richards. His story is really cool.
Peter Parker from the Ultimate Universe is really, really good.
Alright, anyway, we should do social media. So, Darth Forge,
Yes.
where can people find you on the internet?
Alright, people can find me on Twitter.
Alright, cool.
At-
Now, I'm just kidding.
on Twitter at Darth_Forge. And people can also find me on Instagram at John with no H _the_ Foreman FOREMAN.
No H, don't even try it. Alright, Erimus Prime, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Erimus Prime, no underscores or spaces, on Twitter and Instagram. And I have been posting on Instagram more lately. It's like nerdy stuff. So, you know, if you do have an Instagram, definitely hit me up there because I've actually been using it. And my Twitter, I'm a Twitterholic, so yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at NightWolf689. I have other social medias too under different names, but I never use them, so they're not worth checking out unless you really want to, in which case, too bad. Also follow Nerdy Geek Talk on Twitter, just at Nerdy Geek Talk. Follow Awesome Asylum on Twitter, at Awesome Asylum. And
Also on the network, check out the second episode of Holocron Herald, which is up. Talking about Force factions, which ones we prefer. Also, episode 1 of Steel City Bots, which is awesome. And one episode of Movie Mania just went up.
7.
Which I was not a part of.
I don't know.
The newest episode of Movie Mania.
Which episode was it?
I don't care. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, also,
It's
it's
1:30 in the morning.
1:25.
Shut up.
Alright.
Also,
It's 1:26, you idiot.
check out, it just changed. You still got it wrong.
Ignorance is no excuse.
But, also check out our website, which we should be posting more. Again, we did for a while, and then we kind of stopped. So, but yeah, we'll have more articles on there soon, hopefully. Yeah. Also, we'll probably have a review of Spider-Man Homecoming, and hopefully a review of Baby Driver, at least an article, hopefully a video review too. So yeah, it was episode 8 of Movie Mania.
Gotcha. Also, you should like, comment, and subscribe on this video.
Comment what your top 3 or whatever of the screwed up relationships from the article, because I don't agree with their rankings. Most of the ones they picked out were decent, but yeah.
No, they were not decent. That's why they were on the list.
No, I mean decent picks. You know what I mean. Links to those two articles, I think, in the description. Make sure you check those out so you can see them all for yourself. Yeah, thanks for listening or watching or whatever you're doing. I'll see you never.
See you.